What is up? What's up, Theresa Cox?
I'm up. See how up I am?
There you go. There you go. Teresa's ready to rock today, everybody. We're just talking about all the listing parties we've been doing. We love it, but you guys are keeping us busy, but we love it.
We have to do exercises to relax our face from talking all day.
Yeah, I should stand up more. I have a stand-up desk and I don't stand up that much, but we'll see. So welcome everybody. So Teresa and I are here. Trish isn't here today because she's visiting Diane Lassonde. So she'll be back, but she's just dropping in to say hello. But she gives you her
We're,
best.
go- we're gonna go rogue. We're gonna,
We're gonna go wrong. We can finally
now that
say
Trish isn't here to keep us in line, we're gonna go rogue.
finally say what we want. But
Yeah.
real quick, welcome Kathy. Oh, Club Red 97 is here.
I heard she's pretty awesome.
She is awesome. Susie Eads, as usual. It appears someone got a haircut. Teresa?
Yes, I did.
Teresa got a haircut. I need a haircut. My lady has texted me. She messages me every 3 weeks and I get in when I can. Usually it's not that close to 3 weeks. Good to see you too, Kathy. So we are talking sales strategies today and different approaches. And obviously Teresa's going to be more on the expert side of this. And so we'll ask her some questions. And then we'd love your feedback as well. So ask us questions, interact, share your tips, what works for you in terms of e-commerce sales strategies. But reseller tips, list perfectly reseller tips. You've been here before, very casual, but we like it to be interactive as well. So Teresa, why do you think sales strategies are important?
Well, I think, and anybody that has heard me or been to any of my Zooms or listing 101, I was never a big person to do a sale. I'm not one of these people that does a new sale every 3 days.
Yeah.
I still am not. I send out offers to watchers when I remember. But I think I have done sales. When I send out offers to watchers, I do somewhere between 21 and 25%. And I've done a couple of sales, and on eBay mostly. And I did a sale, I don't know, 25% off. And I got some sales, but I also got a lot of people that wanted, a best offer on the 25% off, because I have best offer now, which I didn't used to do. So it just, I'm changing things up and trying it out. I think it's good. I don't know. I mean, people seem to think that it moves merchandise. I don't find that it does anymore, but I still do it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I do know other sellers that keep doing sales, and Trish does them pretty often, and so she's got a bit of a set routine there. And like you said, you don't do them that often, right?
Yeah, and Trish has it every 3 days, and I think so. Here's a little plug for the eBay Beyond Basics for tomorrow, because we have Chuck Van Pelt from eBay talking about creating sales, and I believe a conversation with Chuck is why I don't do 3-day sales. But I could be wrong. I may not credit that to Chuck, but I'm looking forward to that to learn more about it. Maybe I will do 3-day sales. I don't know. It's a lot. It seems like a lot of work to me.
Okay. Yeah. Just looking at the comments, the link there. Okay, so the link from listing party, I'm double checking. Let's see. Okay.
Was it okay?
No, it's not working. Okay. Sorry about that, folks. But you are here. You can see it here. You can see it in the group. We'll get that looked at. But so let's talk about, I don't know, there's definitely some tips around sales. That sense of urgency, exclusivity, sales promotions, I kind of fall for it. Somebody, I love that you can send stuff out to, that works for me on eBay. It's like, if I'm watching something and somebody sends me an offer, if it's a good deal, I'll hop on it. I hopped on one last week. It was a couple, pretty beat up books, but kind of hard to find. And I've been wanting them. So I'll just read them and then, give them to somebody else. A couple old
Read them
national.
and then relist them to sell for somebody else that can't find them.
I'll send
What
them.
kind of a reseller? We will make a real reseller out of you
That's true.
one day. So it's interesting that you say that, because I did sales at like 8% because I was listening to somebody and they said, yeah, 8% seems to be the sweet spot for me. I'm like, okay. And then it didn't work. And then I remember Audrey Tracy said she won't even look at an offer unless it's 20%. And that's when I started doing 20%. So like, it's weird how we have these influences without even realizing that they're influences. And I think that I tried doing that just because why not? And the reason I changed it to 21% is because I like to, with the way that I price my stuff at $19.99, $24.99, $29.99. If you have $24.99 and you do 20%, it's $19.99. And I wanted to give that extra little percentage so that I could tell when an item sold on a sale price.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's why I do 21% or 23% or something like that. But yeah, I do it here and there. It's not really part of my regular business. I was doing like a Thursday through a Monday night and then skipping a weekend, Thursday through the Monday night. And I think I did that twice. And then I was like, oh yeah, I forgot this is the weekend I'm supposed to be doing. So it's too much.
Yeah, but just trying different things, different times that work.
And that's exactly what I'm doing, trying different things, different times. And I think it was on a listing party call where I said something because it was on consignment chats one day that I decided I was going to give best offer a try. And I did. And I don't make a lot. I mean, I make some sales and they're not all bad offers. So that works. So I do West offer now. So yeah, I mean, I am all about testing stuff out. And some things I can stick to and some things I can't. So
do you have more success with your sales strategies on one platform over another? I mean, I would guess eBay, but.
Well, here's the thing. I don't have any sales strategies on any other platform but eBay. eBay sales. Now, I will tell you, we talked about this last night on the Etsy strategies. And we did that because just talking to Pat, he had me do a couple of things. He showed me how to go in and send a 10% off to anybody that had items in their cart or that had liked something or what. I don't even really know what it is because he told me how to do it. I set it up and I don't even know why, but I just looked and on Etsy, making a few changes. One of them is doing that sales thing in the cart. I was last year on Etsy, I averaged $130 a month per sale.
Okay.
And as of April 24th, for the month of April, I have $680 in sales.
Nice. That's good. Congrats.
So this is the importance of knowing your platforms. So maybe I could do a sale, maybe I could do promotions on Etsy, but I'm doing baby steps. First is for me to get keywords in there because adding keywords has really helped my sales on Etsy. And then adding that, I don't know, a coupon to people with things in the cart or people that like things. Those are the two changes that I made, and I'm really happy with the results. I'll probably do this for 3 or 4 months and then add in something new.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, that urgency though, that limited time offer sometimes works for me, but that's the thing is like the price has to be good. And then, it's interesting too, because I sell books and then I buy books. So, and I can tell when somebody's not using media mail. So that's important to me too. And obviously I really like I do like free shipping, but I can tell if somebody's charging a lot because a lot of booksellers will do the thing where they will low price it, but charge a lot of shipping. And it's like, I know that that's not what it costs to ship that.
Yeah.
So even if the price is way down. And then, some of the tools on some of the platforms, obviously I know the eBay tools and I know that like on Mercari, it'll lower your price for you. I've never been a big fan of Mercari lowering and picking the prices. You don't have to use sign language. You can mute for a moment if you need to talk to your minion. Nicole is going to be on camera to millions of people on YouTube.
Millions.
Millions. What's up, Nicole?
Nicole's, no, over here. Nicole's grandparents are deaf, and her grandparents live next door to my mom.
Okay.
And Nicole, when she was 6 months old, started teaching me sign language. So I know thank you. And this is gas. Is it gas? This, gas.
That's good.
And cookie. We all know cookie. Or is this church?
That's church. This is cookie.
Oh, that's right. This is church. See? But then Nicole gave me, what you don't know is we're off track, but that's okay. In the deaf community, a deaf person gives you a sign for your name. And so because I love the color red, what is my sign? It's something R. I think it's like this. Wait, what's R? So I think it's like this. I don't remember, but there's something R for red. But anyway.
All right.
So that's why I did this, so I didn't have to say thank you, because she brought down the book I sold today.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, cool. And Nicole has fans. Hi, Nicole.
Nicole, this is the original Minion.
Yep, I'm the first one.
And tell the people, do you?
I can't sound like that. Okay.
Yeah, she's 5'10". She can't sound like that. Do you mind being called a minion?
No.
Do you find it as a term of endearment?
Of course.
See,
we've always been minions.
We've always been minions. Okay.
And how long is it?
10 years.
10 years. All right. Cool.
Look at that young face. She came to work for me on her 12th birthday. I hired her. She is the OG, and she's fabulous. Let me just tell you that.
And she stuck around, so that's good.
Yep. All right.
So Nicole, do you have any sales strategy tips for online sellers?
She doesn't.
I don't think so. List stuff and it sells. That's what we're finding.
That is a good point. I mean, that's the thing is you got to go with all the stuff that works and all the recommendations, like list consistently and
So let me just tell you. So Nicole, we've changed this. Nicole changed the process on her own because she can do that. And so now she takes pictures, puts them in list perfectly, and cross-post them. And this morning and then I had a whole bunch of stuff that I would normally just sell on Amazon. And she listed 4 totes and 5 bins. And then she pulled everything and she's like, oh, I just listed these yesterday. And then she said, you should really make it a point to tell people that if you list it, it will sell. I said, we say that all the time.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Be consistent.
She listed this book today and it sold on Macari.
Bear's Big Blue House. Interesting. All right.
So anyways, so that's what's your words of wisdom to the people, Nicole?
List it and it will sell.
There you go.
Or shut up and list.
Oh yeah,
yep, that
shut up and list.
Shut up and cross post. So all of those. But yeah, be consistent.
Okay, Nicole has to go now.
Goodbye, everybody.
Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping in.
Thanks for having me.
Okay.
That's the thing is, on the different platforms, there's different tools. Be familiar with what's on there, what they do, what they might try to sneak in automatically. A lot of people are not a fan of Mercari's smart pricing tool.
Which is why you have List Perfectly to turn it off.
Yeah, you can turn it off and list perfectly. So Kathy, you list it and they will come. That's right.
Yep, exactly.
They buy. And that's the thing too, so many things that we do, I think in a lot of ways tie together. So it's like list consistently, have good listings, have good photos, have good titles on eBay, do your item specifics. We have something really cool coming soon. Speaking of item specifics, that's all I'll say, Theresa. Don't ask anymore. But That's Perfectly has something super cool that will help.
I know what you're talking about.
So, and you talked about this, doing different things on the weekend, rotating things on the weekend. So Theresa loves obviously numbers and stats and stuff and A/B testing, and she loves trying things on different days and different weeks. And so that kind of ties into the concept of planning these things strategically. So do you have any tips on planning your promotions in a strategic way?
Yeah. I mean, my tips are, I try to go through, like a lot of people will go through the weekend and they'll stop at, Sunday night or Monday morning at 12 a.m. I like to go through Monday. I don't know, no reason except that if somebody wants to buy something, I don't necessarily need to have 100 packages going on Saturday. I want somebody to be able to buy it on Monday too.
Yeah.
I mean, Sunday. So other than that, and I try to do it before Friday. So a sale for me might go from Thursday at 12 a.m. to Tuesday at 12 a.m. every other week, if I remember.
All right. Yeah, I was going to say, do you have to write this down to remind yourself?
Yeah, and I don't remind myself. I don't remind myself to send offers to watchers. I just, let me check. Oh, I have 182 offers to send. Yeah, don't go by me. I'm not a good example.
Don't do what she says, but she's just telling us what works for her. And then again, too, it's just like, as we know, buyers and sellers on all the platforms are different. So you have to consider the platform. But, there's an opportunity too to do A/B testing on the different platforms. Like try this here, try that there.
Yeah, I would be interested to see that for all of the uproar we had a couple of weeks ago about Macari's change.
Yeah.
I am surprised at the number of posts I see about how much better Macari sales are. And so I don't have that many, but I sold a book today. I think I have 3 sales on Macari since it changed, but I don't like it. I have a really hard time trying to figure out where do I find that sale? Yeah. And then Macari keeps telling me to, hey, do you want to go shopping and spend your money? I'm like, how much money do I have? I just figured out where that is today. So it's all of that kind of stuff.
And so Macari just made it so there's 0 selling fees technically, but technically they're passing that on to the buyer. So
yeah, it doesn't seem
they're bringing sellers, but are they bringing buyers?
Yeah, and there's a thread in the Boss Facebook group that says, what was I going to say? They were talking about that. About it, and somebody says, yeah, they just want more sellers and they just want more items. I'm like, bingo, like they're doing this to get more items on their site. I have no idea how many they have, but it's working. I was shocked at how many. I think I have 1,500 items on Macari now.
Wow. Okay.
So if I could sell a book today, I'm good.
Yeah, there you go. And it's interesting too. So I spend a lot of time on TikTok, and it's interesting because there's always little things coming to the house, and they're not for me. Sometimes for me, not for my wife. Usually it's my kids, and they're buying a lot of things on TikTok in TikTok Shop now. And TikTok for all the stuff that's going on. TikTok's very interesting because they have that crazy dialed in algorithm that shows you stuff that you're looking at. It's much more dialed in than any of the other social algorithms out there right now. But what's interesting too is if you look at something, they'll like, oh, you looked at this item, like this wallet, this tech wallet. We are going to hammer you with posts about that wallet. And then that's a different approach. Yeah. And you're like,
you open your wallet and give some of them your money.
maybe I do need that wallet. And they show you in different ways. And
so that's all part of that's more marketing than sales strategy, but I guess it's part of a sales strategy.
Yeah, it is. I think it crosses over into both. And it's interesting too. So you see those posts and they've got it to where, they've got influencers on there that are showing stuff, but you can save those posts too. So if it's something you like, oh, I might want to buy that later, you save it. But they're also doing a lot of coupons, a lot of discounts to get people to come over and shop on there.
So coupons is another thing that I haven't really dialed into on eBay. I definitely want to, like if you buy something, you get, I'm happy to give anybody 20% off because I do that when I send offers to watchers.
Yeah.
So when I do my store and I really think I'm like, okay, I just want to clear out a bunch of stuff and I do 25% and I get nothing, like that's discouraging. And I think Todd said something about that. He doesn't do sales because he sends stuff out and nothing happens. Yeah, I send offers out at 25% and dead. And I'm with you, Todd. I just don't think that, maybe the first weekend I did it, I got some sales, but I don't know. It's one of those things, just test it. And if it works for you, keep doing it. Because it works for Trish because she does it religiously. Well, So this is, if I was being devil's advocate and Trish was here, I would say, well, how do you know? Because you've never given your chance. Well, maybe she has taken a break and she didn't like it. So like when she offered, when she charged for shipping and her sales stopped. And she's like, yeah, that was a bad idea.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like we talked about earlier is like A/B testing, looking at the data, and it's the base. A lot of people don't look at the data or the metrics they have, but the basics of data analysis are basically do more of what's working and do less of what's not working. But other things to think about too is I love when we hear about somebody who does something like I think it's Don, and he offers coupons in messaging, like thank you messaging, thank you follow-ups after, thanks for buying from me, here's a coupon for next time. And he's developing research repeat customers. And that's the thing. And it depends on the tools that you have too. Like if you go so far as to have a website or an email list or something like that, there's a lot you can do with that.
Absolutely. And if you have a Shopify store, you have to have that kind of stuff. You get that data, you collect that data, you do. I mean, that's part of why you buy a Shopify store is to collect the email addresses and that sort of stuff. And for the different platforms, I have played around with. I played around on Poshmark, where you go in and increase your price by 15% and give a 10% discount. I did this all with a bot one time, and it messed up my store so much that I've never done it again. But Poshmark has those things where you could send out sales where you discount your whole store, your closet. I have played around with offers to what is it called on Poshmark? Offers to not followers. Give me a second. Offers to shoppers.
Offers to shoppers, yeah.
Yeah, and it's really quick and easy on your mobile. And I've been doing that in conjunction with the new List Perfectly sharing tool and my Amazon, my Poshmark sales. I'm telling you, 3:00 on a Wednesday afternoon is not the best time for me. But the Poshmark sales have increased for me, and I say this, and I will say this for the entire month of April. So you've got another 6 more days of me. I had one sale on Poshmark for the entire month of March. And the last time I checked, which is like the 19th or the 20th, I had 18 sales on Poshmark already. Okay. So it's the combination of sharing and then I'm sending my offers to shoppers.
A couple of people are saying offers to likers. So
on here it is my shoppers.
There you go.
All right. That's what I'm sending it to. And it's and you can, yes, you're right, because I do click on the likers. Yes. So it is the next lever down is likers. I gotcha. So yes, you guys are correct.
So Ash is asking a big question that it's probably too big to answer because there's so many platforms, but what's the most successful sales strategy you found on each platform? I mean, I would say across the board real quick is just see what tools each of them offer inherently. Like, on eBay, you've got promoted listings, offers to watchers, things like that. Learn the tools that are on there and then, do research too. You can always Google stuff.
Because here's the thing, Trish will die on the 3-day sale sword and I have zero luck with it. So I think it is, you do have to test it out. I think it is what you're selling, how much inventory you have listed and all that sort of stuff. But the one thing that I have found across all platforms that work well for me is the eBay offers to watchers, Poshmark offers to shoppers, likers, and then Etsy is just giving them that coupon, which is an offer to anybody that has a shopping cart or liked something. Thanks. So those are my 3. In Mercari, I will go through on Mercari and do the percentage off to likers, but not if it only has one liker. Because if I send a 20% off to that liker and I want to do it again, I got to send it more than 20% off. So there's a strategy there. I certainly have not perfected Mercari strategy at all, but the offers to likers seems to work well for me for eBay, Posh, and Etsy.
And another big, everybody teases me. I love high level, the word high level words, high level and strategies. But I think too, it's important to make sure that your listings across the board are optimized so people can find your stuff. That's probably
Oh,
like the number one sales strategy out there across the board.
if
Make
you're
sure
listing, I
people can
mean,
find your
Dave
stuff.
Snyder says all the time, if you're listing in the wrong category, it doesn't matter how good your title and picture is, nobody's going to find you.
Yeah. And
So
don't try to cheat the algorithms.
yeah, the algorithms are smarter than we are.
People want to be, and you're not helping the algorithm or any of us or the platforms. We're trying to cheat it. So optimize your listing. So I'm excited about this question because this is something that Theresa can definitely talk to regarding keywords on Etsy. How do you decide what words to use?
Ah,
So while Theresa enlightens us on her recent success, I'm going to find a cool blog post that we have from the seller community blog.
yes. So, Ash, the thing that has made me more successful in keywords on Etsy is I started List Perfectly. I believe in the Business and Pro Planet has it is called a listing. Give me 1 second.
Assistant?
Not listing. I think it is part of Listing Assistant, which is Listing Assistant is just part of Pro Plus, but it is, let me just see what it's called in the listing. Suggest description. So listing Assistant does do it. So you type in your stuff and you click on the title, and List Perfectly will go out and grab the listing for you, which will create keywords. But what I did was I had a bunch of Etsy listings already listed. And what Nicole has been working on is taking those listings in List Perfectly, using that description builder and creating List Perfectly tags for that item. So List Perfectly will generate your tags for you. And then she's cross-posting those over to, actually, I think she's just copy-pasting them into my Etsy listing. That has made, I think that's the difference of me selling $100 this month and almost 700. So I think that I just let List Perfectly, I've said it all the time, I don't understand keywords. And so I'm happy to let List Perfectly's AI, coding, magical wizardry, whatever it is, do its job and put it up there. Yeah, this is a very, very good blog post.
Yeah, this is great. This is from our buddy
Yeah.
Pat, who does really well on Etsy, and he's an expert in basically using tags over there.
Yeah, he talked about it last night. He had a very successful Etsy store, and I think he and his daughter, I mean, they were creating stuff, custom design stuff. And so he was very successful on there. And then they moved to selling, I don't know what you would call it, but, and so he's still success, but he definitely knows, I learned so much stuff on that Etsy listing party last night, but yeah, this is a great article. I'm sorry, Doug, I interrupted you.
Oh, no worries. But yeah, just real quick. So you see it on there. So tagging dues, use all 13 tags, multi-word phrases, consult your shop stats. That's going to help. Consider synonyms and regional phrases. Don't forget long tail keywords like, those are ones that, shoppers are going to be looking for that are going to give you long tail is like a long-term type of thing, a long-term search, finding stuff long-term. And the interesting thing too is, and this goes back to what we talk about a lot, is research. Is like go back, look at similar stuff that's selling, look at the keywords they are using. Like if you're selling, I don't know, a seller community cup, which is only one, so this would be very valuable. So they would say invaluable or priceless. But if I was selling a seller community cup, I would look for other seller community cups and see not only what stickers they have, but I would see what keywords they're using.
Yeah, one of the things that Pat showed us on this Etsy call last night was a program called Marmalade. And he went into it. He used it for my store, which was interesting because he doesn't know anything about my store.
Okay.
But he showed us on there just all the different things. And so I signed up for it and got the 14-day free trial. You don't have to put a credit card in or anything. And he picked out a couple of my listings just randomly. And it turns out that I was getting graded an A-B on my keywords. And that was all list perfectly because, like I said, I don't understand keywords. And so this, my keywords were very successful based on Marmalade stuff. And it also there's a lot of stuff there. And there's a report in there that will tell you which listings don't have any tags and which listings have fewer than 13. And so I think it's $20 a month. And I will probably subscribe for at least 1 month and have Nicole use that to go figure out which listings don't have keywords and get all the keywords over on Etsy that way.
There you go. There you go.
So
hopefully, Ash, hopefully that helps.
That will definitely help with your sales. So it's not really a sales markdown, but it will help with sales.
That's right. And I'm going to find and share, since, we know eBay well. We'll talk a little bit about eBay optimization. I'm going to find the granddaddy of eBay, eBay SEO blog posts.
Yes, I can't talk about this enough. Yeah, so different sales things, or to be able to see your listings. I say it all the time. I have always been a firm believer in promoted listings, the standard, because it doesn't cost you anything. Every single item that I list gets thrown into I think I have a 4% campaign right now.
Yeah.
And if somebody clicks on that link, that because it was being promoted, then I pay, but otherwise I don't. And I haven't done anything with the advanced where you pay per click and stuff. And I've talked to some sellers, and I want to say I don't know any sellers that have had a lot of success with that kind of a sales strategy, but I could be wrong. Dave Snyder, episode 8.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Is that your most watched?
It still is the most listened to podcast episode. And this is so Dave's been on 3 or 4 times, and he does want to come back on, so we will set that up. But he focuses on eBay. He talks about eBay SEO. And it's like we always say, a lot of the tips he gives are applicable across the board to multi-platform. So
yeah.
Your category is important, your title is important. And then, he touches on stuff too, like your graphics, obviously your description. And you also need to think about internal SEO and external SEO, because you want people to be able to find your stuff on all the platforms, even though he's eBay focused. You want people to find your stuff internally. And then you got to think about externally as well, because external SEO points, little things pointing to your listings helps you with your internal SEO and your on-site marketplace algorithm. And then Google Shopping is very important. I'm a big fan of Google Shopping. I mean, I don't necessarily shop with Google Shopping, but I compare prices with Google Shopping a lot of the time.
For sure.
But yeah, so this is the thing with Dave. Kim says, Dave Snyder, listen to Dave's episodes more than once. There's a lot to digest and very much worth it. So, and then obviously, you can go there, you can listen, or you can scan through the transcript there. That would make it easier to take notes and pull notes out. But you got to keep in mind and Dave's a good friend of mine, but he goes deep. He's into this stuff and he goes deep. And there are a lot of people at eBay that go deep into this. There is, I've seen it, and I tried to find it the other day. There's an eBay tech blog that is super techie, based just around eBay SEO.
If you go to Dave Snyder's blog, he references it all through his blog.
And I will.
Yeah. I do try to go and read Dave's, especially after an eBay seller update, because he's like, okay, this is what this means. This is the change they're making, and this is what it means. And then he'll say, this is what they say it's going to do. We're going to test it out. So, I mean, this is his business. So I like
Well,
that.
and that's the thing is,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of times I probably come across, or Trish, maybe even Theresa, we come across as eBay cheerleaders, but we try to be critical. But Dave is pretty fair. Obviously, he's a fan of eBay. He focuses on eBay SEO, but he'll call him out if he thinks something's not going to work. And there have been some things. It's like, you know, frankly, we all remember when item specifics rolled out. That was not a great rollout, ladies and gentlemen. And there's a lot to it. I was there. I was actually at a conference with Brian Burke, and we were like on the front lines, you know, in the trenches, as they say, sticking our heads up when item specifics rolled out. And some of these things you don't know how they're going to go until they go live.
Right.
And, you know, but the thing to always keep in mind is all the platforms have their own data, and eBay is the only platform to have 27 years of buyer and seller data across so many categories, internally called verticals.
29 years this year.
29 years. See, that's why I have Theresa to do the math. Not even
numbers geek.
numbers geek. Not even Amazon has that much data because they started with books. I've bought a lot of books from Amazon over the years.
So yeah, so and all that data. So this is what I say about the data is that if eBay is suggesting that we do something, they are a publicly traded company, publicly traded data management company. So they can't make a big change without having the data behind it and the buy-in from everybody that has to buy into it. So a lot of people have looked at this stuff before they make a big change, like getting rid of our 30-day listings.
Yeah.
And so you just got to trust the process. And, you know, a change they make might be fabulous for me and just be, you know, so-and-so for Trish, or great for Doug because he's a wannabe seller. And he's just putting a seller as this, so his wife doesn't get mad that he's got boxes in the garage.
He has no idea what I do. We talked about it the other night. So
anyway, but yeah, so I mean, eBay is has such a vast variety of sellers. And I never thought, I mean, until I started working with a lot of teams at eBay, I was just like, why? This is the dumbest move. I've not seen anybody that this makes sense for. And then somebody will say, well, we have this type of seller that does A, B, and C. And I was like, oh. So I quit saying that this doesn't make sense for anybody because it just doesn't make sense for me.
Well, even, you know, something like, and I guess I'll start this with is eBay's made a lot of decisions that I didn't agree with or didn't understand at first. And then eventually is like, okay. And again, it's like sometimes they don't know until these things go live. And it's like the Mercari thing is like a lot of sellers don't understand why they're doing that. And I think it's bringing sellers on, but I'm not sure if it's bringing buyers on or if buyers realize. I mean, surely they've done research into this. Yeah. Wait, stop the show, ladies and gentlemen. Trish is here in the comments. So
we can't be rogue.
That's right. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, everybody's excited. Susie's excited. Trish is here, everyone. So, but you know, that Mercari stuff. So these are big companies that are using data to make these decisions. And, you know, frankly, sometimes they will do little things to hit the numbers at the end of a quarter, or they want to do this, or they want to do this. And frankly,
was there ever a better year when eBay was giving us all those discount coupons to go spend? Because all I did was bring their numbers up. Because when you report sales, you report total sales. You don't report any of the discounts. So it's like, I mean, when you know this stuff, you recognize the tricks and you go, oh, okay, so all these people are out buying this stuff because eBay just gave us a 40% Prime Day coupon so that we can compete with that other platform, and it works. They got a lot of sales.
That's true. They do it. eBay does it. They do it. And Yes, sometimes they do things to get sellers, sometimes they do things to get buyers, and
I have no basis at all. This is complete guess on my part. But my guess is that Macari wants more listings.
yeah, I think so. And they're trying to pull, yeah, definitely. They've got a strategy behind it. And when I have a huge surprise for everyone in a moment, but when
It's not my birthday.
no, it's not your birthday anymore.
Yes.
It was my wife's birthday on Earth Day. So
Hey, I have a lot of people that I know born on Earth Day.
that's right. But I was going to say when I was at eBay, that was the Devin Winnick time, and he made it clear that he wanted sellers. He's like, we're going to focus on sellers for a while. We've got plenty of buyers. I want sellers. And ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's bring in our friend.
Oh, wow, you're home.
Yes.
I'm home.
When did you make it home so quickly? You probably broke a few laws.
I did not break a few laws.
Trish so wanted to be with us, ladies and gentlemen, that she sped home. So before we get into how's it going? How's our friend Diane doing?
I'm having a problem. I'm having a tech issue here.
What?
Diane's very sore.
Okay.
And really,
for those that don't know, tell them what happened last week.
Diane was in a car accident last week on her way for cancer treatment.
Yeah.
Diane and her husband, Rick.
Yeah. So Rick broke his sternum. He's really having trouble walking. I put on Rick's socks for him when I was there.
Oh.
And I brought them dinner. And so that was good. And Amanda and I went and saw them. Amanda came up. So Amanda and I had dinner with them. I mean, we spoke to them, and then Amanda and I went to dinner. And thanks. That's why I'm late. I'm really sorry, guys. What I missed?
We were just talking about sales strategies and how you do sales strategies very different than I do.
Yeah, you don't have one, do you?
Mm-mm. My sales strategy is to do a sale when I remember, if I feel like it.
Yeah, I mean, I have one running constantly. I'm more like the Kohl's.
Yeah.
You're gonna send me a 30% off coupon? That's the one I'm waiting for, Trish.
So, that's an interesting thing because I don't do that. There are some people like in Mastermind, Don Nodler specifically, he's always sending people out, coupons to come back. He also puts coupons in his feedback. So if you're there and you see it, you could use it. Don is pretty interesting about trying to get people to use them. So, he has a very specific kind of sales structure that he does. And I wonder, I talk about this at Mastermind a lot. I think if you are somebody who is niched down, these can be very good to have. These kind of sales strategies can be very good because you can try to get those people to stay or to come back because you're going to have the same thing. If you're what's the sound? If you're somebody who is doing, vintage Tupperware and well, that's a collector, you might come back if I give you the 30% off coupon, right? So, but for me, I'm not sure it matters in what I sell. I think I'm mostly search based. I know I'm mostly search based. So for me, I just got to get them to see my listing, and I think sales help.
And so what's your 3-day sale, your eBay 3-day sale strategy?
So for me, you get that little counter and you get a red strike through and a counter that tells you this will only be on sale for so much longer. So and it's for 72 hours. So that's where the 3 days comes in. So for me, I apologize, there's a cat in the way. So for me, I run a 3-day sale constantly. Do you remember when Kohl's got in trouble for doing that? So I'm kind of like, that's why I always call myself the Kohl's of the resellers. My daughter, who runs my business, is not quite as diligent about it as I am.
Okay.
So when I did it, I would have 3-day sale, 24 hours off, 3-day sales, 24-hour off, 3-day sales, blah, blah, blah. She's not quite so diligent as it. So, but for me at the time anyways, I mean, we still do it. I still find that the last 24 hours does get the biggest push. I always have the best. I'll say, did a sale end last night?
Okay.
She comes from my school of sales, where you do it when you think about it and if you feel like it.
Exactly. Yeah. Liz got her sales knowledge from Theresa. So
Certificate?
I'm sorry?
Did she get a certificate?
It's in the
Yes, she
mail.
did.
It's in the
In the
mail.
mail from Theresa. I do think that having a sales structure on eBay helps. I'm not sure about the other platforms. I don't dive into them as deeply as I do eBay. So I don't know.
Yeah. We talked about what I find on Poshmark. My offers to shoppers / likers has been helping on Poshmark, along with my, what is that? What's the sharing tool?
So
And
for me, you know, the whole offers, I send out offers every day on eBay. Do you do that, Theresa?
my offer strategy is like my sales strategy.
Okay. So
when I think about it,
we send out offers every morning. So if there's any offers in eBay that can be sent out, they're sent out every morning. The same thing with Poshmark. So Poshmark and eBay, if I can send you an offer, it happens every single day. If Poshmark is having closet clear out, we double down on that, because we think there are some people who are going to react to to the discounted shipping. So we double down on that. I really don't do much on Mercari, so I have no idea if Mercari can have a sales structure or not. I'm going to be truthful.
One thing I was thinking about too is, you know, we talked about consistency earlier, but I think being consistent across your business, and one thing I'd like us to talk about a little bit is, how does good, consistent customer service help with a sales strategy?
well, I mean, if a customer service is good, no matter what you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a customer that wanted to see if somebody's picture was in a yearbook, and I'm like, really? And so I took a year, and it's a yearbook from, like, I don't know, 1938 or something, and maybe 41, I don't know. Anyway, I took the picture. It was like all these little tiny, tiny pictures, and there was a name that I think was it. But then, so I took a picture of that. I sent it to him. He's like, I counted the names, and then you cut the pictures off before it got to that name. So he wants me to go take another picture. For the life of me, I can't remember to go up there and take that picture. So this guy has asked me twice now, and I was like, oh, I'll go do that in the morning. Forgot about it. So if this guy was even thinking about buying this yearbook, he probably isn't going to, because I've had such awful customer service. But I think that, I mean, I think it's important to do all that kind of stuff.
Todd just said, I had that happen to me too. In 2 yearbooks, I got $100 for both.
Yeah. See,
I'll take it.
Yeah, and I know that could happen, because I did find the name in the yearbook. But
well, I mean, I think it's important. I think customer service is very important, and I think that if you're in a niche market, it's even more important.
absolutely,
because if you are trying to build a relationship with people to buy from you again and again, you know, I think it's really important, and you want to go above and beyond and make sure things are wrapped carefully and give them all the information, blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
I think in my position, it's less important, but I don't want to make it sound like I don't do it. I try very hard to make sure I'm giving the best customer service I can. And I don't let anything go for more than a day. without being
All right, show
answered.
off. I just told you I kept forgetting to do this. Let me see
Sorry.
when this guy messaged me.
Well,
Though
but
some things are annoying. You know, people want information that's annoying. Can you tell me what the opening is of the sleeve or whatever? Those kind of things are annoying, but I do think they're important.
so two quick things. So, and that's great customer service. Somebody's obviously looking for somebody, you know, but Theresa may wind up and he found her based on an old yearbook he bought offline. And that's when things went
Went
terribly
wrong.
No, but there is something that, and if Kim's still here, Kim, can you type in the comments just high level your customer service story, because you have a great one where some guy asked you about something and you went above and beyond and got some sale. Do you remember what that is, Kim? If it is, I'd love for you to type it in the comments. But but I think too that helps you build up, you're building up a rapport with your customers. It helps you with like your rankings, your sales rankings on the platforms.
Absolutely.
In Etsy, I think Etsy has like the timer thing.
Yep.
Amazon, absolutely. If I get a message on Amazon, I am answering that real fast because Amazon does put that in your metrics. And I think Etsy does too.
And you don't think eBay does?
I don't know.
I think they do.
This guy sent the second message on Monday. It said, I await your response.
Oh, it sounds like somebody messaging me. No, I'm pretty sure eBay does. They do like you to respond and be responsive.
But do they track that as a metric?
I think they do.
Okay.
All right, ladies.
I think that if all things are being equal and you and I are selling the same thing and I'm answering my messages and you're not, I think I'm going to get pushed up further and
And you're also building up again that rapport, but potentially return customers. Like the smoking lady with the book. I messaged her. I gave her a nice nice feedback on eBay, but I said, hey, just so you know, the book smelled like cigarettes and there was ashes in it. She didn't respond, and she could have been like, do you want to sell it back? And
Grandpa's ashes tipped over on the bookshelf.
I can't, yeah, Grandpa's ashes that I snorted last week when I smelled it. I saw his life flash before my eyes. But she technically would have been nice to offer a refund and say, I'll take it back, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But I got a good deal on the book and it's kind of hard.
The thing is, though, is we have been trained not to do that now. There is this whole thing about people saying, oh, it had this small rip. And, there are people like Star Bryson who preaches on her channel. And not that I'm disagreeing with this philosophy. It is a philosophy that I adhere to 50% of the time. Mm-hmm. That I will say anything that you don't like with it, I'm not giving you a partial refund. You have to send it back to me and I'll refund all of your money. Sometimes for me, I'll say, you know what? If I really know I screwed up, I'll just say, I'll refund your money. Please donate the thing. Right.
Yeah.
Or I'll say if somebody had a zipper broken, did I believe the zipper was broken? I didn't. But this woman said, if you give me $5, I'll replace the zipper. $5, no problem. Here you go, lady. Better than getting a return, better than having to pay for the shipping label.
You paid $5 to have it returned anyway.
Exactly.
I know I was supposed to send you socks and you got a bra.
Exactly. You do that one time and you never live it down.
All right. So let's catch up on a couple of comments real quick.
Okay.
So I love this story from Kim. That was my first sale on eBay years ago. I sold him a garage door remote and he didn't know how to program it. So I found the manual online and printed it out and sent it to him. You know what, though? That's above and beyond, but we all know that is so Kim.
Yep, totally Kim.
That is so Kim. Just so.
It doesn't surprise me at all.
That's right.
Kim is going to go above and beyond to make sure that you got what you wanted.
That's right. And then Todd. Buyer told me it was because they had no pic of her husband in school and the grandson wanted pics. So I looked, he was in there. So she bought them to give to her grandson. Oh, that's cute. That's nice.
Well, it's interesting. The reason that I have this Tridelphia yearbook from whatever year it was is because I was looking for pictures of my grandmother. I'd never heard her tell stories of anything about when she was in school or anything like that. And I was trying to find a year based. She was born in 21. So what year would she have graduated? Well, you know, back in those days, you could have skipped 3 grades. I don't know. But she wasn't in this yearbook. And neither was there were like nobody with the last name of her maiden name. I was like, okay, well, maybe she didn't go to this school.
You were Tridelphia, or your grandma was?
Well, she was from West Virginia, and I actually think she went to a high school that starts with an S.
Okay, because I was Itapekega.
I don't even know what you said.
Itapekega.
Oh, I couldn't hear what you said.
Let me try this again, ladies and gentlemen. That's funny, Theresa, because
I got it. But Teresa's just like, what are you talking about now, Doug? Like the whole
Itapekega.
I am a Mohican.
Are you the last?
No, there was a few more after my class, but they are now the Jaguars because
you can't use Mohicans anymore.
There was but we still have the Mohicans. Once a Mohican, always Mohican.
You guys are bad. So did anyone it's true, Kim. It's very, very true. It's very, very true, Kim.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, Kim. Neither would I. That's why I gave her that $5 really fast.
For sure. Go ahead.
No, I was just wondering if I missed anything else. Anything else that fun happened when I was gone?
We talked about that creating sales, it creates a sense of urgency, which is why I think you do the whole 72-hour thing.
It is.
This lasts through, blah, blah, blah. Limited offers, flash sales, countdown timers, you get all that kind of stuff. Planning the duration of the promotions. Trish has this down to a science. The rest of us, not so much.
Here's the thing about it. A week or so ago, I was talking about this in Mastermind, and somebody said, which I am now going to do some research on, and we can talk about this next week. I'll just bring it up real fast for whatever our next week's topic is. I'll just say this. I heard through one of the people in Mastermind that eBay now says it takes longer for sales to get indexed than it used to. And so that a 3-day sale might not be the best way to do it anymore, and that you need to give it 7 days.
I said that at the beginning and I think that Chuck Van Pelt of eBay told me that, but I'm not going to blame him. But he is doing a thing on sales strategies on eBay tomorrow in my eBay Beyond the Basics listening party tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Tune in. And if you're not on that call, I will definitely ask him about it.
Okay, yeah, please. I'm going to try to go, but definitely ask him, because it's something that I think if it's changed, I'll change the way I do it. And I think other people will also.
Look at Doug with the quick link to the listing party events page.
He's the best.
Quick
tomorrow. Scroll up.
Ish. All
Scroll
right,
up
so
a little.
tomorrow we've got Chuck's a super cool guy. I knew him when I was at eBay, and he is
He's a real reseller.
He's a real reseller. He's a funny guy too. He's got a great social media, and he sells video games, right?
He does a lot of vintage electronics. He likes vintage stuff.
Okay.
But he does media, not social, but records and that kind of stuff. Sorry.
It's 15 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for
That's the 4 o'clock, so it's going to go on.
Time for the next selling ghost to show up. That's a Christmas Carol joke, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Tech and Sports says sales need to run longer than 3 days, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I think Trish is right. I think something changed there, but we will definitely
yeah.
find out about it tomorrow.
I just want to know the data, you know?
Yeah,
like I just want to, yeah. I just want to know when it, you know, if it's changed, that's fine.
Kimberly, you crack me up.
Dada.
But you know what's interesting to me?
No, Trish, tell us.
This is so Theresa knows when to end the show on the hour.
Yeah. It's like gonna bug her. Oh, she's like bugged that we've gone over.
Jill, that's the best. Jill, thank you
Well,
for writing
Pull
that.
us into a meeting and be like, we need to end on time.
At my mom's house, that's when I knew that my hour was up.
Hey, Jill
Wait.
knew.
Jill knew.
Wait, real quick. You know how I like to tell stories. Speaking of ending on time, so I did the Snoop Dougie show today, and I talked about Dune, which is very deep, and there were several people there, and somehow it segued into bread selling, working
bread?
graveyard shifts, and people dying in their delivery trucks.
Really? So Brett must have been fully fledged in this conversation.
So I'm changing the title of the listing party.
So I appreciate, first of all, Jill, that sense of humor made my whole day. Thank you for that. That really amused me. The second thing I would like to say is I really want to know why we know that now about eBay. eBay, I never say anything against eBay. I'm kind of like Theresa. I'm a little bit of an eBay cheerleader, and I kind of feel that it's their sandbox, and if we want to play in it, we have to do it by their rules, and I'm okay with that. But I feel like they have made some changes recently and not told us.
Agree.
And I'm fine with the changes, eBay. Just let a girl know. Let a girl know. We can't change what we don't know. We don't know what the parameters are at the moment. And so the sales thing, the feedback thing, there's a few things going on that we need.
They just automatically, they just stopped being on the side of sellers with feedback and didn't bother to tell us.
Yeah. So if we're changing the way it works, tell us.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Well, and sometimes they sprinkle stuff out that they just want to see what the reaction is, how it's going to go, blah, blah, blah.
For sure.
For sure. So, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's 4:03. We're past the hour. We like.
God knows Theresa needs to do something else now.
No, this is my last Zoom of the day.
Well, sorry I missed it for half an hour. It was very nice to see you all. Glad I saw Diane. So,
yep. Hopefully you gave her all of our love.
I did.
All right.
You all asking for her, except for Doug. I said, Doug doesn't care what happens to you.
That's bad.
Terrible.
Put that out in the universe, young lady.
Did not do that. She knows that she wouldn't believe me anyways.
That's true.
So, quick plugs, ladies and gentlemen. So this week it's Earth. Trish loves this. It's Earth Month, Earth Week, Earth Day. It was Earth Day this week. We put out a great podcast interview with Jessica from Helpsy, and we talked about sustainability. Trish shared her love of Brandy Melville and Lululemon and what they're doing for the environment, and Sheen and her support. And so check that out on the Seller Community Podcast. And then we probably need a better name than Mama Bear, Daddy Bear, and Baby Bear. Yeah,
I don't like that one.
We'll come up with something. The Troika.
Three Little Pigs.
Thank you, Sarah. Sarah's new, ladies and gentlemen. Three Little Pigs. Sarah Gorlick, thank you so much for joining us. So our next live.
Let me tell you
what the three of us do. So we have a listing party on Mondays called Coffee Talk, where we sit around and we discuss reseller topics, the weather, things like that. And then we do this weekly on Wednesdays. This is reseller tips from List Perfectly, and we offer discussions, the trifection. All right. Yeah, I like that. How about Menudo?
Menudo. I like the trifection better.
The Three Amigos? No, that's too easy. And then, Sarah, as Trish said, the next live is this Friday with our co-founders, Clara and Amanda, at 11 Pacific. And
on that show is going to be Marie and Clark Barton.
Bartren.
How do you say it?
Bartren.
Bartren.
Everybody forgets the second R.
Sorry.
I like when you snap your ponytail around. And they're going to talk about how they grew their businesses on List Perfectly. So that's going to be great, ladies and gentlemen. And again, this is just a taste of what you could get 24 hours a day. Sarah, 7 days a week over on Listing Party. So listingparty.com if you're a List Perfectly user. But Sarah, thanks for checking in. Thanks for watching. And all the resources we put out there are not just for List Perfectly, it's for online selling as well. And you've got 2 multi-year eBay sellers, and then across multiple platforms here in the call, and then a person that has sold. My friends here are both six. Teresa's a 6-figure seller, and Trish is a 6-figure seller, and I'm a 1 to 2-figure seller, ladies and gentlemen.
I was a 6-figure before I took the job at List Perfectly. Now I'm almost 6.
But the community loves you. And then
almost 6. I'm gonna be 6 this year if it kills my daughter, which it might.
Good to get help from you all. Good to see you, Trish. Understand why you were late. Thank you, Kathy. Thanks so much. Thanks, everybody.
Alrighty.
This was fun.
Bye, Todd. I'm a bad figure, Todd said.
There you go.
Hope you all have a good night.
All right, cool. Thanks, everybody. We will see you